Hey guys, so today I wanted to take a look at not just Dodge, but all of the muscle cars from the big three American manufacturers. So we will compare each vehicle from the current generation, looking at the features, engines, power output, and more, and then we will look to the sales figures of each vehicle and see who's actually winning the muscle car wars these days and outselling the competition. Of course, the players here involve the Ford Mustang, Chevrolet Camaro, and Dodge Challenger. Any prices shown will be in 2021 US dollars. As for the comparison, I'll just go back and forth between models of each vehicle, so all the base models first, and so on. So let's get right into it. First off, the age-old question, what is a muscle car? I'm using the definition which states a few points that make a vehicle a muscle car, so that includes a large V8 engine, rear-wheel drive, being manufactured in the United States or by an American manufacturer, a two-door body, and being designed for drag racing while remaining street legal. So the Mustang, Camaro, and Challenger best fit that definition. The Charger is omitted as it has the four doors, and other cars that you might argue could be a muscle car, like a Corvette or AMG C63 or BMW M4, and so on, are ruled out as they fall under the personal luxury cars, which are too expensive to be considered a muscle car by most people. We can begin with the Mustang, which had its current 6th generation launch for the 2015 model year. There were significant changes made from the 5th gen. Most models are available in fastback or convertible format. The body of the car was widened by 1.5 inches and lowered by 1.4 inches, blending the iconic Mustang heritage with modern sports car aesthetics. The interior continues the retro-modern theme, and the interior passenger volume increased to 84.5 cubic feet from the last generation, while resembling an airplane cockpit. Inside there are still lots of hard plastics, and getting soft touch surfaces in carbon fiber can be costly options. There was a 2018 refresh that added a new look, as well as an active valve performance exhaust system, where the driver could adjust the exhaust noise, Magna Ride adjustable suspension for standard models, a heated leather-wrapped steering wheel, and more. A new 10-speed automatic transmission joined the 6-speed manual as an option. The Mustangs have a curb weight of between 3,500 to 3,875 pounds. Note that the weight fluctuates based on the options, so the least optioned out 4-cylinder would weigh a few hundred pounds less than a fully loaded V8. Moving on to Dodge, they've offered the Challenger every year since they brought it back in 2008. Dodge also offers the Charger, but we won't cover that here as there's not enough time to go over that, and also many do argue that it's not really a muscle car since it has four doors, and that goes against the conventional definition we talked about. The Challenger is still technically in its 3rd generation, not receiving any major updates or platform changes since 2008. There was a bit of a facelift for the 2015 model year, where the exterior featured a new grille with design cues from the 1971 Challenger, quad LED halo ring headlights, LED taillights, and functional hood intakes on all the models. 2015 also saw Dodge remove the SRT8 models and replace them with the SRT392 and SRT Hellcat models, but more on that soon. The Challengers are easily the heaviest cars of these big three, with a curb weight of between 3,850 to 4,445 pounds. Next is the Chevrolet Camaro. The 6th generation was introduced in May 2015, celebrating the iconic vehicle's 50th birthday. The car is built on the GM Alpha platform, shared with the Cadillac ATS and CTS, but over 70% of the 6th generation's architectural components are unique to the car and not shared with any other current GM product. 2019 models received a mid-cycle redesign with a revised interior, new wheel designs, new colors, and a new performance hood. Camaros are also fairly light, weighing between 3,352 to 4,100 pounds. So that was an overview of each car, and now we can look at the base models. The V6 Mustang models had 300 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque, but they were quickly discontinued after the 2017 model year. That left the EcoBoost as the base Mustang trim. As of 2021, this model starts at $27,205. The standard 2.3-liter Turbo 4 engine makes 310 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, although there is a high-performance package that began in 2020 that bumps the horsepower up to 330. These models have standard equipment like keyless entry, a push-button start, cloth seats, and 17-inch alloy wheels. Performance is still solid here, with a 0 to 60 time of 5.1 seconds and a quarter mile in 13.7 seconds. As for Dodge, they now offer 7 major trim levels as of 2021. They have 2 lower-end V6 models, so the base SXT starts at $29,450 and comes with the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 with 303 horsepower and 268 pound-feet of torque. The $32,450 GT V6 model is similar, but a bit more performance focused, with a performance hood, functional hood scoop, SRT front splitter, performance steering and suspension, and 20-inch wheels. Both of these models come standard in rear-wheel drive, but all-wheel drive is a $3,000 option. So the pricing is similar to the EcoBoost Mustang, but the performance is slower with 27 less horsepower and 82 less pound-feet of torque. So these V6 Challenger models can do a 0 to 60 run in 6.1 seconds and the quarter mile in 14.5 seconds, around 1 second slower than that EcoBoost. Chevrolet does their lineup a bit different than Ford and Dodge, offering various trim levels. For 2021, those include 1LS, 1LT, 2LT, 3LT, LT1, 1SS, 2SS, and ZL1. A 6-speed manual transmission comes standard on every model, but an 8-speed automatic can be added to the 4-cylinder, while a 10-speed automatic can be had with all the other applications, including the V6. So if we start with the 1LS, it costs $26,195 and comes with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. That's good for 275 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. It's the least horsepower of any trim levels of these three vehicles, but it is faster than Dodge's V6 and rivals the Mustang EcoBoost thanks to its lighter curb weight. 0 to 60 happens in about 5.4 seconds, with the quarter mile in 14 seconds flat. The 1LS comes with standard features like 18-inch alloy wheels, an 8-way power driver's seat, a Bose 6-speaker audio system, and 7-inch touchscreen. The 1LT, 2LT, or 3LT can each be had with that turbo engine or a 3.6-liter V6, so the cheapest option would be the 1LT with the V6 for $28,290, and that has an output of 335 horsepower and 284 pound-feet of torque, dropping the 0 to 60 time to 5 seconds flat, and the quarter mile time down to 13.7 seconds. So that truly rivals the RT Challenger and Mustang EcoBoost. Each of those LT packages simply adds more features as the price increases, things like leather seats, dual zone climate control, active safety features, a heads-up display, and more. After each round of models, I will have a comparison chart on screen for you to check out, and you can pause if you want to read all the info. So here's the first chart. The first Ford offering is found in the GT, which goes up in price to $36,285, giving you 5-liter V8 power. The output has fluctuated, rising for 2018, but actually decreasing for the 2022 models, now with 450 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. These GT models have 18-inch wheels, a limited slip differential, power front seats, and quad exhaust tips, and there's a premium option to add more standard equipment. These are pretty quick cars with a 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds and a quarter mile around 12.7 seconds. For around that price range, Dodge offers two V8s, the 5.7-liter Hemi and the 6.4-liter Hemi, and all the V8s get an electronically controlled active exhaust. So for $36,150, you can get the 5.7 in the RT with 375 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. The RT shares the same performance look as the GT, also with 20-inch wheels and houndstooth cloth seats with performance bolsters, although those can be upgraded. The RT and up also feature many customization options from the factory, like the TA package, shaker package, and a variety of stripes and decals like shakedown graphics or RT classic side stripes. The RT is priced right around where the Mustang GT is, but again with 75 less horsepower and a lot more weight, it's more comparable to the EcoBoost, 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, and the quarter mile in 13.3 seconds. The Scat Pack model is where you'd find the 6.4-liter Hemi V8 with 485 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque. These models begin at $42,225, and both the Scat Pack and the Hellcat above it offer a $6,000 wide-body package that includes fender flares, 6-piston front calipers, adaptive damping suspension, and 20 by 11-inch wheels. While still technically not an SRT model, some premium features are included from other SRT models, like line lock, launch control, and SRT performance pages. There's also the 1320 drag focus package with 20 by 9.5 inch wheels, 275/40 R20 drag radial tires, rear seat and passenger seat delete, drag mode suspension, and trans brake. The 1320 is capable of a 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds and quarter mile in 11 seconds, so that rivals the GT for sure. For Chevy, the first V8 trim would be the LT1, starting at $35,195. That gives you a vented hood, 20-inch wheels, limited slip differential, and the 6.2-liter LT1 V8 engine, with 455 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. That engine is shared with the Corvette C7. With a 0 to 60 in around 4 seconds and a quarter mile in around 12.4 seconds, that allows the LT1 to be neck and neck with the Mustang GT and the Challenger Scat Pack, while being about $1,000 cheaper than the GT and roughly $7,000 cheaper than the Scat. Of course, you can spend more money on the 1SS, which adds Brembo brakes, a rear spoiler, and wider tires, or the 2SS, which adds 3LT luxury features along with the performance. Now for the top models. For Ford, for a while it was the track-focused Shelby GT350 and GT350R with a higher price tag of $61,535 and $74,530 for the R. These featured a 5.2-liter flat-plane crank V8 engine with 526 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque, and a Tremec TR3160 6-speed manual transmission. Other track-focused features included chassis tuning, 2-piece cross-drilled rotors, Brembo calipers, Magna Ride adjustable suspension, 19-inch alloy wheels, Recaro seats, and other lightweight carbon fiber pieces. The R deletes the rear seats, adds carbon fiber wheels, a carbon fiber wing, front splitter, and some other features. The GT350R was the quickest of the lineup at the time, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds and a quarter mile in 12.2 seconds. But both the GT350 and GT350R were discontinued after the 2020 model year. So the successor of those would be the GT500 along with the Mach 1. The Mach 1 carried a price tag of roughly $53,400, bringing back the nameplate for the first time since 2004. This model was sort of a mix between the higher-end Mustangs, using the GT's 5-liter V8, the GT350's 6-speed manual, intake manifold, engine cooler, and front and rear subframe, and the GT500's rear axle cooling system, rear tow link, and rear diffuser. The true top model, though, is the $72,900 Shelby GT500, which returned in 2020 after a 6-year hiatus. This is based on the 5.2-liter V8 block from the GT350, supercharged with a cross-plane crankshaft instead of flat plane, upping the output to 760 horsepower and 625 pound-feet of torque. The GT500 has some serious performance, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, and the quarter mile in 11.1 seconds. This model also has enormous 16.5-inch front rotors, wide 20 by 11-inch black wheels, and leather and suede seats. As for the top Challenger models, Dodge now offers a few different Hellcat variations with the 6.2-liter supercharged V8. There's the Hellcat and Hellcat Red Eye, both available with that $6,000 widebody, and the SRT Superstock on top. So the standard Hellcat is $61,850 with 717 horsepower, 656 pound-feet of torque, and a top speed of 199 miles per hour. The Hellcat has a functional dual snorkel hood, 6-piston front and 4-piston rear calipers, Bilstein adaptive damping suspension with customizable ride stiffness, and features like line lock, launch control, and after-run chiller. The Red Eye version ups the ante, beginning at $73,450 and having a high output version of the engine with 797 horsepower and 707 pound-feet of torque. There's also the largest supercharger of any production car, with a 2.7-liter screw-type supercharger producing 14.5 psi of boost. And this model also adds features like the SRT power chiller and race cooldown. The Red Eye widebody is able to hit a top speed of 203 miles per hour, and it can also hit 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds and run a quarter mile in around 10.9 seconds. The SRT Superstock is on top, starting at $82,850. This now holds the moniker of the quickest, fastest, and most powerful muscle car with 807 horsepower and 707 pound-feet of torque. It comes with 18 by 11 inch wheels with 315/40 R18 Nitto NT05R drag radial tires and a 3.09 to 1 rear axle ratio. The numbers are staggering: 0 to 60 in 3.25 seconds and the quarter mile in 10.5 seconds at 131 miles per hour. So the Red Eye is similarly priced to the Mustang GT500 and comes with more power and is a bit faster in a straight line. So is the Superstock, but that's over $10,000 more. Both look equally badass. A Tremec 6-speed manual transmission is standard on the RT, Scat Pack, and Hellcat, but a heavy-duty ZF 8-speed automatic is the only choice for the Red Eye and Superstock. Now on to Chevy, where sitting at the top of the lineup you can find the ZL1, starting at $64,195. So this is Chevy's top dog, meant to rival the Hellcats and GT500. It gets a supercharged 6.2-liter V8 that pumps out 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque, along with upgraded brakes, cooling, magnetic ride control suspension, Recaro bucket seats, performance data recorder, and forged aluminum 20-inch wheels. That allows for a 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds and the quarter mile in 11.4 seconds, just a bit slower than the Hellcats and GT500 in a straight line. Just a bit slower than the Superstock and GT500 in a straight line. Chevy also introduced their 1LE performance package in 2017 that offered increased handling and track performance as a $7,000 add-on for both the V6 and V8 models. The next year in 2018 saw the ZL1 1LE package, which now costs $7,500 as of 2021. Some features there include the carbon fiber hood and spoiler, 19-inch forged aluminum wheels, 305/30 and 325/30 staggered tires, performance suspension, and more, reducing the overall weight of the car by 60 pounds over a regular ZL1. So the true top model Camaro is the ZL1 1LE with a price tag of $71,695. Now that we've compared each vehicle in the respective lineups, we can see who's really winning the muscle car wars. You can have your opinion or weigh certain parameters more than others to determine which car looks or performs better, but the real winner is the car that sells more. Without knowing more intricate financial information of each company, like the profit margins on each vehicle, the average sale total, profit on different options and add-ons, etc., we can only really judge this muscle car sales war on sales volume and how many vehicles each of the big three are selling on an annual basis. All the sales numbers are for the United States unless stated otherwise. Back to the original muscle car days, Dodge sold 76,925 Challengers in the first year of the car in 1970, but sales fell after that, and Dodge ended up selling over 165,000 Challengers from 1970 to 74, just 33,088 per year on average. The Camaro was always a hot seller, usually well into the hundreds of thousands of cars moved on an annual basis. The best year of sales was 1979, where Chevy sold a whopping 282,751 Camaros. Production only started slowing down in the last few years before the production stopped entirely after the 2002 model year. Overall, from 1969 to 2002, which is 36 years, Chevy sold a remarkable 4.8 million Camaros, which is roughly 133,000 per year. And Ford did even better with their Mustang. They started earlier in 1964, but sold over 100,000 Mustangs every single year for 27 straight years until the 1991 model year. There's a reason why everyone knows what a Mustang is. Ford has just sold so many. Over 8.7 million over 44 years from 1964 to 2007, which is over 198,000 per year. That data brings us to 2008, where Dodge was back in the muscle car wars with the Challenger, and Chevy would follow suit in 2010. This sales data will give us a more accurate look at who's winning the muscle car wars in the present day. Chevy had good numbers early on in the decade, moving over 70,000 Camaros every year through 2016. After that, though, production has fallen off, down every year since then. 2020 saw only 29,775 Camaros sold, and 2021 so far has seen just 15,000 sold through 3/4 of the year. Overall, over the course of 13 years, with ordering for the 2010s starting in 2009, Chevy has still sold over 851,000 Camaros, which is good for an average of 65,488 cars per year. Chevy also sells roughly 2,000 to 3,000 Camaros each year in Canada, and anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand annually in the entire region of Europe. So if we add those in, that's a total of 885,786 Camaros in the US, Canada, and Europe since 2009, but there are a couple years of data missing for Canada and Europe that I couldn't find. The last 5 years, 2017 to 2021, have been kind of dismal though, with total sales of 212,000 or around 42,500 per year. Dodge started off very slow after its reintroduction in 2008, but momentum has been growing in recent years. Overall, Dodge has sold over 689,000 Challengers throughout this time frame, which is an average of 49,261 per year, which is 24.8% less than Chevy during the same time frame. We can also add the Canadian and European sales to get to over 713,000 in total. So the Challenger is technically last in terms of overall sales, but as mentioned, recently it has been better. 2020 saw almost 53,000 sales, and 2021 has been decent as well, with over 44,000 through 3 quarters, on pace to surpass 2020's total. The last 5 years, 2017 to 2021, have seen over 289,000 sales, 36.5% more than the Camaro, for an average of 57,870 per year. So between the Camaro and Challenger, more buyers are currently choosing the latter. That brings us to the Mustang, who is the undisputable king of the muscle cars based on sales figures. There aren't many slow years relative to the competition, and since 2008, Ford has sold over 1.1 million Mustangs, which is good for almost 80,000 annually, blowing both the Camaro and Challenger out of the water. The Mustang also sells the best in Canada, 4,000 to 8,000 per year, and in Europe as well, over the past 14 years. If we add it all together, that's a massive total of 1.25 million since 2008 across the 3 regions. Over the past 5 years, the Mustang still edges out the Challenger, but the gap is definitely closing. Ford sold over 339,000 from 2017 through 3 quarters of 2021, which is good for 67,822 per year. So that's about 17.2% more than the Challenger. In 2021 though, Ford has sold just 8.3% more Mustangs than Challengers. So what does this all tell us, and what does it mean? We can see that while more and more customers are choosing the Challenger and less are choosing to buy the Camaro, the Mustang still holds the distinction of selling the most, no matter how you look at the data. From the good old muscle car days, to the total since 2008, to the last 5 years, and even in Canada and Europe, plain and simple, the Mustang is the winner and sells the most. More people are choosing it year after year. The Camaro is second in overall sales, but the recent trends are alarming, and the past 5 years especially haven't been too good. Dodge hasn't offered their Challenger as long as the other two, but they have good momentum with the likes of the Hellcat and Superstock, and they should be very successful if they can keep riding this wave. Who knows, they might even overtake the Mustang one of these years. So that's the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed going deep into the features, performance, and sales of the Mustang, Camaro, and Challenger. What did you think of the findings, and who is winning the muscle car war today in your opinion? Let me know down in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.